April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. He was one of the most prominent leaders in the civil rights movement, fighting against Jim Crow laws and other forms of discrimination. And on Monday, the nation will honor his life and legacy. And of course, there will be several events here in the capital area as well. And this morning, we're joined by Dr. Gooden, who's of course with the Greek organization Alpha Kappa Alpha, to tell us about some of the events that you all are hosting. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
And this weekend on the 15th, you all are also celebrating 115 years of service. So just tell me, how does it make you feel to know that, I guess, the birth of your organization is also on the same day of this pioneer?
It makes me feel wonderful, Reggie. And again, thank you for having us this morning. It is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our founders and also celebrate the mission, which is service. And that is all what Dr. King professed, confessed, and lived for his entire life.
Exactly. He was all about uplifting different communities.
Correct.
And you all, what is it that I guess that you all do to make sure, I guess, some of the younger ladies or the younger generations know and remember Dr. King?
Right. One of the things that we do, we host a debutante program, and we offer life skills training. We do programs of service in the community. You will see our Debs out and about, and also our middle schoolers. You know, our children doing that.
Middle schoolers.
That's correct. And they are working in the community with us. You know, you have to work by example, and you have to live by example, but you also have to teach and train. That is the most important thing, because a lot of times we expect our young people to know, but we also have to teach and train for them to know.
That is very true, because just last week I was around some, there were about maybe 8 to 10 year olds, and one of them actually asked, like, who is MLK?
Right.
And of course you had to explain who he is.
Correct.
So, but on Monday you all are going to be doing active service as well as through the entire month. So tell us all about what you are going to do.
Correct. Reggie, I tell you, you know, we will have prayer in our Unity Breakfast, and that is going to be at LaBerge, and that will be denominations coming together to pray. Then also too, we will work at Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church, and we're going to receive exhortation over there, but also come together as Greek organizations. And I'd like to just say, you know, we're celebrating with Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Delta Sigma Theta Fraternity, who celebrates today, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and Zeta Phi Beta Sorority. So we want to say congratulations to each and everyone who's chartering, because it's not just about us, but it's about us all working together.
And that is a good thing, that, you know, all of the Greek organizations are coming together to try to make a difference, because like you said, so many organizations, they actually hold days of acts of service on MLK Day as well, right?
Correct. You will see folks working in homeless shelters. You will see we're pulling together to donate to our food bank. Our goal is to donate 1,908, that is the year of our founding, pounds of food to the food bank. And also we are working together to put together pink packs for personal items for women in the homeless shelters, and also the domestic violence, you know, battered women's shelters.
Yeah, poverty and domestic violence, definitely big issues here in our area.
Most definitely. So our goal is to teach and train our young people, make sure that they are passing it on to others, paying it forward, and also doing our part to uplift and to encourage our founders.
And the event that you all are holding at L'Auberge, you don't have to be an AKA to attend. That's open to the public.
No, not at all. It's open to the public. It's a unity prayer breakfast. So it's open to all persons to come together. Let's worship together. Let's pray for our community, pray for our city. That's in conjunction with Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome, and also our sister chapter, Gamma Eta Omega.